Namaste, Natasha Anand here. I wanted to share this transmission about how holistic modalities work together to create powerful effects for this incredible mind body experience. I've been working with people in a number of capacities for the last 15 years now, and in wellness for the last 10 years, but working particularly with trauma, working with the emotional body, and working with the energy body, very focused for the last 6 years. And I have come to witness my own journey and the journey of my clients, what it takes to really hold a space for ourselves and for other people. And this holding of space is really the fundamental underlying component of our healing journey and our spiritual journey. And that's why I spend a lot of time teaching about space holding and teaching holistic modalities with this focus on space holding and trauma and parts, energy informed space holding. And I teach in this way because I have seen in myself, I've validated from my own experience and seen in my clients how when we work with these components, with the energy system, with the emotional body, with the physical body, with our own sense of self, when we work with all of these components together, we are able to create profound impacts on our own lives, on our own systems, and move into our potential and live the lives that we know that we're here to live. So for me, the most important aspect of our personal journeys, our healing journeys, our journeys of consciousness evolution, the most important foundational teaching is in relation to energy. Understanding how our energy system is, how it works, the different subsystems within this incredible vessel. We have the Kundalini system, we have a system of working with universal life force energy, we have the breath bringing prana into the body, we're able to connect to other sources of energy, the sun, celestial bodies, we have the energy system that our metabolism creates. There are many systems that overlap and integrate and interface with one another, and understanding this and how to work with that energy system, how to increase the flow of energy, how to amplify our own energy, how to clear our energy so that we can be clearer vessels, so that we can be more grounded and stable and tune into the wisdom that is held within ourselves. This is my key component, my underlying component of all of the work that I do. And so with that, I layer techniques in relation to working with the breath, because the breath is such an important aspect of our system. It's the way that we channel in prana or life force energy into our system. And this enlivens our system. It helps us keep our system clear and clean, oxygenating the cells, which increases cellular function, metabolic function. But it also brings that ether, it activates our quantum energy layers. It activates our energy layers. It really brings us to life and elevates our consciousness. So the more that we can breathe consciously, we can bring in an abundance of prana into the system, the more energy that we have to fulfill our tasks, to be on our healing journey, on our journey of consciousness evolution. And we can also teach this vessel how to tap into this infinite source of prana, of energy, so that we're not always just relying on our body's energy system. And then I teach working with our internal parts. So working with the internal family system, working with those parts of our mind and our body that really are using this vessel to get in touch with us, that are very much a part of our personality, very much part of our psyche, and helping us to be in the world, to survive in the world. Our internal parts are here fundamentally to protect us, and many of our parts have actually been exiled from within our system, which means that when we've experienced hardship or challenge or even trauma, some parts of us have retreated into our system, and you know, and they're managed, and they have layers of protection, and they've retreated, and they've been exiled within us, and it's really hard often to reach those very vulnerable parts of ourselves, but they're the ones that are holding the energy, the burdens that we carry of the guilt and the shame, those really heavy emotions, the anger and the sadness, that actually many of our other parts have helped to cover up and suppress because it was just too painful to deal with. So, as we're on this journey of healing or consciousness evolution, it's important for us to get in touch with our parts and to really create self dialogue, self to part dialogue. So, we come back into the seat of self, of soul, and we speak to our internal parts from ourselves, from that place. And we're able to engage in dialogue with our internal parts in a completely different way to create completely different effects. We can we can tend to our anxiety, we can attend to our emotions, we can tend to challenging and difficult things that are coming up for us in a completely different way by acknowledging and holding a space for ourselves in a way that we just didn't know how to before. It's a real education. It's a journey of re-educating ourselves and learning to hold a space for ourselves in a completely new way. And for those of you that want to work in this field, that want this as your professional practice, or maybe you're already working with people or healing in a number of capacities, and you want to bring this additional dimension to be able to really understand people's energy systems, their emotional systems, their internal parts in a different way, combining these techniques is so key. Now, when we're working with our internal parts, this is essentially an energy practice, because everything is energy, and the emotions that these parts are holding themselves are an energy. This is what they're holding. It's made of energy. So when we work with the breath, and when we work with energy practices through the yogic tradition, or with Reiki, or Tai Chi, or Qigong, or whatever else, sacred rituals, when we work with energy, what we're doing is, well, if we are working with energy in the proper way, we're able to ground ourselves first. We're able to create a stability within this body, within the emotional body, within the psyche, within the energy body. And this stability is the foundation of our healing journey. The lower triangle, the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus need to be anchored and grounded in. They need to be supported because there are many locks and unblocks in the lower triangle. And as we use energy practices, we're able to unblock the deep energy that's really kind of keeping us way down, that's keeping us down, that's keeping us imbalanced. And when we can clear some of that energy in the root and the sacral and the solar plexus, the Kundalini energy can rise from the base of the spine up into our system and up to the heart, to the upper chakras, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And these are our activation points. So the heart, this is really the emanation of our self-energy, our courage, our compassion, our clarity, our kindness. Our self-energy very much sits at the anahata, and our expression, our voice, our ability to be heard and be seen, our inner vision of the third eye, our spiritual connection of the crown. These points help us us to, as we activate them, help us to be in the world and navigate the world and receive the wisdom from nature and from our higher selves that elevates our consciousness. But if we are stuck with a heavy burdened energy that's sitting in the lower triangle, that's sitting within the energy of those parts, internal parts, then it's really, really challenging to get that energy into the system and enliven ourselves. So working on grounding and stabilizing, and then using that energy work, energy practice to start to purify energy, the burdens, and then moving up into the system to start to activate this. This is the way fundamentally that we work with energy. And this is what I love to teach on my courses. Working in an integrated way is just so important, because the benefits are not just accumulated, they are amplified. We are leveraging the wisdom, we're leveraging the skills, the tools, the energy, and amplifying the effects. And we literally create quantum leaps forward into our journey, being stable and grounded and clear and activated in a way that we've never been before. We're able to hold this space in such a beautiful way. If this calls you, if you are intrigued, working in an integrated way, I would love to hear from you. Maybe this is something that you already do. I'd love to hear your experiences. It's such a passion of mine. It's such a passion to teach. And I'm just so excited to share with you. Sending you so much love.